Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chhoda and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. I appreciate you being a viewer. I appreciate you being a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber yet, please consider clicking the subscribe button. Please enable notifications. Please ignite that subscribe button because the name of our channel is Ignition Time. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda and welcome to my channel. The Senate Majority Leader in comments today on the floor of the Senate firmly stood behind President Trump. He said every legal ballot needs to be counted, and by extension, that means every illegal ballot should not be counted. He also said that the president is well within his rights to question the results of the election and pursue all legal maneuvers necessary. He said that basically, the Democrats, their obstructionist policies, he used words like radical, he used words like socialism. He said their obstructionist policies were rejected by the American people. Some pretty strong language there from the Senate Majority Leader on the floor of the Senate. He also said no states have yet certified the results of the election. Words from the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. Keep in mind that at this point, we have to see what happens to the Georgia Senate runoff races. I have covered this in another video on our channel earlier today that right now we have Alaska and we have North Carolina, which are projected to go the way of the Republicans, which would mean that the Republicans have 50 seats, the Democrats have 48. And then the Georgia Senate runoff races, let's say if the Democrats win both of them in early January, that would bring it to 50-50. And then Vice President-elect Kamala Harris would be the tiebreaker. So it is still possible that Democrats essentially retake the Senate by a razor-thin margin. But, we'll have to wait and see what happens. The Senate Majority Leader did say, like I mentioned earlier, that not a single state has yet certified the results of the election. And he said that there were recounts happening in 2 states. And he said that there were legal challenges that were mounted by the president's team in 5 states. In fact, Drew Bossy, who is essentially in charge of the president's efforts to question the election results, actually was diagnosed with COVID today. What is happening is just unbelievable. We would have thought that the drama would be behind us, but I guess DC is a place where drama is ongoing. Let's listen and let's watch what the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said today on the floor of the Senate. These are brand new comments. Let's roll the tape and you can see for yourself.
Actually, not to have confidence and smeared anyone as unpatriotic who opposed far-left proposals to rewrite election laws. Well, Mr. President, the people who push this hysteria could not have more egg on their face than they do right now. None of their demands became law. None of them. The Speaker of the House did not get to personally rewrite election law. And yet, because of the sensible bipartisan steps that some of us championed, our defenses and countermeasures proved to be in radically better shape than back in 2016. So it's time, let's talk about where we are now. According to preliminary results, voters across the nation elected and re-elected Republican senators to a degree that actually stunned prognosticators. Likewise, the American people seem to have reacted to House Democrats' radicalism and obstruction by shrinking the Speaker's majority and electing more Republicans. And then there's the presidential race. Obviously, no states have yet certified their election results. We have at least 1 or 2 states that are already on track for a recount. And I believe the president may have legal challenges underway in at least 5 states. The core principle here is not complicated. In the United States of America, all legal ballots must be counted. Any illegal ballots must not be counted. The process should be transparent or observable by all sides, and the courts are here to work through concerns. Our institutions are actually built for this. We have the system in place to consider concerns, and President Trump is 100% within his rights to look into allegations of irregularities and weigh his legal options. Let's go back 20 years ago. 20 years ago, when Florida came down to a very thin margin, we saw Vice President Gore exhaust the legal system and wait to concede until December. More recently, weeks after the media had called President Bush's reelection in 2004 Democrats baselessly disputed Ohio's electors and delayed the process here in Congress. In 2016, election law saw recounts or legal challenges in several states. If any major irregularities occurred this time of a magnitude that would affect the outcome, then every single American should want them to be brought to light. And if Democrats feel confident they have not occurred, they should have no reason to fear any extra scrutiny. We have the tools and institutions we need to address any concerns. The president has every right to look into allegations and to request recounts under the law. And notably, the Constitution gives no role in this process to wealthy media corporations. The projections and commentary of the press do not get veto power over the legal rights of any citizen, including the President of the United States. Now, more broadly, Mr. President, let's not have any lectures, no lectures about how the President should immediately, cheerfully accept preliminary election results from the same characters who just spent 4 years refusing to accept the validity of the last election, and who insinuated that this one would be illegitimate too, if they lost again. Only if they lost. So let's have no lectures on this subject from that contingent. In late August, Secretary Hillary Clinton said, quote, "Joe Biden should not concede under any circumstances. I think this is going to drag out, and he will win it if we don't give an inch." That same month, Speaker Pelosi and the Democratic leader both stated, quote, "President Trump needs to cheat to win." In October, when Speaker Pelosi was shopping some conspiracy theory about the Postal Service, she recklessly said, quote, "Listen to this, I have no doubt that the president will lie, cheat, and steal to win the election." Now, does this sound like a chorus that has any credibility whatsoever to say a few legal challenges from President Trump represent some kind of crisis? At this time last week, small business owners in cities across America were boarding up their windows in case President Trump appeared to win, and far-left mobs decided to reprise their summer rioting.
And while the results of the election have been called into question by the President-elect Joe Biden's team has already begun the transition process, but it appears that they are not getting the cooperation that they need from President Trump's team, because President Trump, and by extension the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, and you saw his comments, they want the legal process to play out. In fact, the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell mentioned Al Gore, and he said that he didn't concede up until December, up until this went to the Supreme Court. So just unbelievable. On your screen, you'll see an article that was just published that says, Trump agency official privately says there is no transition in place after Biden's victory. And John Barsa, who is the president's acting deputy administrator of USAID, privately told members of his team that the transition to power for President-elect Joe Biden has not started. And Barsa's comments essentially represent that the Trump administration has not essentially put in the effort to begin the transition process while they wait for the legal process to play out. And that is where things stand right now. That's it. Thank you for watching, everybody. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. I really appreciate you watching. I want to make it clear, for me, it's not about the red or the blue. It's about the red, white, and blue. I'm not Democrat. I'm not Republican. I'm American. I want our viewers and subscribers to have the latest news, to have accurate news in this highly, highly divisive environment, in this highly partisan environment we live in. Hopefully we can start to be a bit more bipartisan, but my goal is to give you the news and let you make the decision for yourself. Again, my name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda. If you don't know anything about me, here's some information about me. You'll learn a little bit more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. You'll get a link to all our sources in the description section below, so you can check them out on your own. And again, if you learned something new from this video, please consider clicking the like button. Please subscribe. Please enable notifications. Also, please share this video with friends and family. That really helps out the YouTube algorithm. Also, please comment below. I'm looking forward to interacting with our incredible community. I appreciate you. I'll see you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Thanks. Bye.